Greetings and hugs to you, Mother Christ Lisbet, and to my brothers Jimmy Devon, first fruits of the living God. In the same way, to all of my brothers, holy angels, symbolic men, members of this kingdom, where God's justice and peace overflows in all of the nations. Beautiful Mother, this is your son, Juan Simón Alba Luisa of Melchizedek Lisbet, from Pereira, Colombia, a child you literally saved from physical death, from the abomination of desolation, and brought back home a few days ago. As a result of a heart attack, 75% of my heart burned, and I simultaneously went into a diabetic coma, where my sugar levels were at 965. I developed peripheral neuropathy as a result of diabetes mellitus. After having performed the transplant protocol and seeing your glory, beautiful Mother, I still did not believe in you. With successful test results to begin the surgery, with the despair of my children, my wife, and the mother of my children, whom you appointed as your collaborator in this city. After being almost 3 months in the hospital, where I was given practically no hope of recuperating because only 6% of my heart was working, Gloria Amparo, the mother of my children, called me and told me, "Listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you and receive it. I ask my father Melchizedek, in the name of my mother Christ Lisbet, that they get you out of this situation you are living, and that you leave that clinic healthy and say it is done." I repeated it, and I also thanked her. After this request, they sent me home to rest from the clinic and to ready myself to begin the transplant process. They asked me to perform some final tests requested by protocol specialists to present on the day of the hospitalization. After some days, when they informed me that I had to go to the hospital because everything was ready for the surgery, I went and gave the cardiovascular protocol chief the results of the tests they requested. And to my surprise, after a 40-minute meeting between the 3 protocol doctors, one of them says to me, "Juan, I want to ask you a question. I have a car I purchased from a dealership. After several years, that car has been seen by many different mechanics, and I have abused of it, going maximum speeds. Today, that car does not go upwards of 80 miles per hour, but it takes me everywhere. Do you think I should take it to a mechanic to repair the engine?" And I answered, "No, doctor, not at all." And he told me, "He who understood, understood." And I said, "I understood perfectly." He said, "I do not understand how a person with a 6% ejection fraction is in the conditions you are in, much less alive, taking into account the results of the tests that you brought in." I told him, "I met a great doctor some time ago, and it has been a great glory for me." And he says, "Here, in the clinic?" And I said, "No, sir, further north," while pointing with my finger upwards. He replied, "That attitude, faith, or whatever it is called, that you have, has you like this. Go home. There will be no transplant for now." A few days ago, Gloria Amparo visited me together with a sister at my house, and they shared with me about you, beautiful Mother. And then Gloria Amparo asked me to challenge you concerning my health, and I answered, "The only thing I ask her is wisdom to understand you, because who am I to challenge you if there is reverent fear in me, and with the words you put in the lives of my 2 sisters to share with me was enough to open my heart." It was so amazing, Mother. After I left the house, I could not hold back the tears, and I understood that it was you who had given me back my physical life. And after 3 weeks of absorbing manna, day and night like a sponge, I returned home, grateful and without words to express my gratitude and my love for you, beloved parents Melchizedek Lisbet, and to tell you how much I love you. After being one of many people who never believed in you, nor in those who shared your teachings for us were treated as the worst. The last medical diagnosis, after 4 years of moving from one clinic to another in different cities, intensive care on 2 occasions with no vital signs, open heart surgery, implantation of a cardiac defibrillator, resynchronization of a pacemaker, was the following: severe diabetic neuropathy and loss of sensitivity in feet and hands, with a risk of the loss of limbs, with a prepared treatment unresolved. Today, I am in excellent health conditions, where the specialists and general practitioners who treat me are still amazed. that according to their science and technology, a patient with a 6% heart functionality is glowing with health and energy, and with a diabetic level which they say I should be bedridden or walking with a walker or wheelchair. Instead, I am driving my car or motorcycle, walking everywhere. This is surprising to them. They identify it as a miracle of life. In this moment, Mother, a year after leaving the clinic and all these results that they delivered, I no longer use oxygen because I was oxygen dependent 24 hours a day, and much less a cane to walk because I can walk by myself, and I see your glory in my health day by day. How can I not be grateful, precious parents? Parents, I want to thank you for the lives of my children in the flesh, Paola, Andrea, and Juan Mauricio, my granddaughters, Michelle, Daniela, and Manuela, the mother of my children, Gloria Amparo, and my wife, Alba Lucia. Today, I feel very joyful and deeply grateful to you, my parents, because my daughter, her husband, Victor Eduardo, my granddaughters, and my daughter-in-law, Diana, have returned home. And of my wife and my son in flesh, I ask my father Melchizedek, in your name, Mother Christ Lisbet, that it is time for them to return, and if there is justice in this request, it is done.
Por Melchizedek Lisbet, por Melchizedek Cristo Lisbet, por mi padre, por mi madre, amén, aleluya.
En medio nuestro está Cristo Lisbet.